Hello everyone. Today I am here with new video which is based on config server. Okay. So why we use config server and what is the use of config server? First of all, we need to understand the problem which is occurred without config server. Okay. So let's move on the paint and let's understand. This is our application. The called app. Okay. Our application is Spring Boot application. Now this is my application is completely worked. Okay, no problem. Now I want to deploy it on server. So I want to deploy it on server. This is my server. Okay, this is my server. Clear? Now I want to change some configuration in this application. So what I need to do? Once again I need to changes in this application. I mean to share update app and then once again redeploy it to the server, which is very costly. Okay, so how it's solved? So let's I understand how it's solved. First of all, I remove it and then we understand what happened with config server. So I want to present one config server here. This is our config server. Okay, what is config server? Cool na? Then our config server, what to do? Our config server talk to our repo where our application properties file available, configuration file available. What I say, let's see. Suppose I am using git repo to save my configuration properties file. Okay, so this is my git repo. Here I save my application dot properties, or we can say YML file. Okay, so our config server do? Our config server talk to this repo. Our config server talk to this repo and take the message or any configuration file which is required to our application, and it's sent to our application. See, this is our application. Okay, this is our application. Now what is here done? See, suppose we have packaged this application. Suppose we have already packaged this application and upload to on the server. Okay, my application running on the server. Okay, now in future I want to change some configuration, like I want to change database, I want to change any properties file, I want to change port number, anything. It means anything I want to change. Then how it is possible? So in earlier way, we again after changing again we package application and we deploy application. But here no need to again package and deploy. Here only our config server is done what we want. We have to change. We have to do changes only here. Our all this is continuous running without any issue. We need to only change here. Okay, what I need to change, what we need to change, what we are changing here, it's all reflect on this application with the help of config server. That's why we use config server in our applications. Okay, so let's move on the code. I want to see my STS. Spring Tool Suite, and you can see here the first one is config server, which is nothing is here. And let's I see you. Yeah, this is our config server. Here I have used, yeah, this is our config server, and this is our application.properties file. Here I have used Spring Cloud config server git URL. This URL I have built on in my GitHub repository. Where is see, this is Spring Boot git config properties. Okay, so this is my config properties. Here I have make one file called welcome.yml, and I have put this message. Okay, so here I have given the URL of my repository on this configuration file, and clone on start, and here this my server is ready. Now I want to run this server so that it's running on the port number 8080. Okay, now what I can to do, uh, we can do, go to localhost and we can welcome get and config. So what here, see, here is all data come from GitHub repository. What are the messages I write, what is the link, what is the URL of my Git repository, this all comes. When I change this message, hey Rahul, and I commit this, see, when I reload it, see, hello Rahul. Now what is the use of it? Let's here, mm, this is our client. This is our client, and we need to uh, we have one REST controller. Then when we pass the request on this URL, then the message comes from the GitHub repository by the config server. Why it come? Because we have configure here application bootstrap localhost, and this localhost application running with our GitHub repository. Okay, okay. So this is all. So this is all about config server and client. You can also search it on Google and explore more, and you can find this all code, both config client and config server, on the GitHub repository. So thank you guys. Maybe our next video on exception handling in Spring Boot, which is a good way, not in as a freshers way, that how try catch and finally we use throws, we use no. Here is one another industry level approach to handle the exceptions in Java. Okay, which is very important. So take care, friends. Thank you.